Hey, what's up guys? Shadow Steel here. Welcome to an episode of Railworks Sundays. It's been a while since I've recorded this. Well, I mean, it's been a while since I've done an episode. I keep saying that because I keep putting these things off for a long time and then proceed to record them in spurts here and there. So, I've been on a bit of a kick with the winter park trains and kind of Rio Grande stuff again, off camera, of course. So we're going to be playing with the Rio Grande Zephyr this time around. And I'm going to get things started here, get the train set up, ready to go. Right, this is for the Mars light front, Mars light rear. And then this is the headlight switch. And then one of these is the number boards, right? That's it, down there. That's the number boards. Right, got it. Alright, that should be on. Everything's good. Let's go. I'm not sure what's going on with the sky textures, but nah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Oh, no, we're still loading passengers. Okay. Got the crossing set up over there. So yeah, we've got our train here, the Rio Grande Zephyr, or I think back then in the 80s when this train was still in operation. So it turns out that back in the 80s, after Amtrak formed, the Denver and Rio Grande Western decided not to join Amtrak and instead do their own thing and continue operating their trains. So essentially what they did was they took a lot of their F units and all the stuff, like the old passenger units that they were using at the time, and continued operating their trains. They were the ones that introduced the ski train, and still operated the ski train up until the 90s, I believe. I'm not sure on the correct date on that, but the ski train was a successful endeavor. It's now the Winter Park Express trains. And that service is basically to Winter Park and back. So it starts off in, I think it's Salt Lake City or Denver, one of the two, and then goes to Winter Park. And that's kind of the thing there. So we're going off on our adventure. So we've got a long ways to go. So we'll be taking a train along the line here. But yeah, I've been sort of, it's been kind of an interesting set of circumstances today. Been trying to figure out a good scenario to play for the channel. I was going to do one over on the British side of things again, but didn't realize that the scenario the scenario I was gonna do wasn't exactly the easiest to deal with. It was short enough. It was fairly short, about 35 minutes. But the way the locomotives were, the way the controls were and everything, it just wasn't doable. It wasn't feasible, I guess you could say. So that was kind of off the table for now. I'll probably get back to it eventually because I got a few British scenarios that I want to try out for the channel and see what I can do. So, all right, we've got a speed limit of 60 miles an hour right now. I'm gonna try and push her up to the top of our speed. So try to get her up to track speed here. Now that we've gotten over the crossover and everything. But yeah, we'll be powering basically what is the Winter Park Express or the ski train. Now the Rio Grande Zephyr, I'm not sure about the details of the Rio Grande Zephyr. I do know that the Rio Grande was one of the three railroads that operated the California Zephyr, that the other two being the Western Pacific and the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy, or the Burlington Railroad. So both those railroads also operated the California Zephyr. In fact, it was the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy that basically were the ones that were using these Bud cars back here. So these were basically designed by the Bud company, the Bud and car company, and they were the ones that basically chose to really use these cars. I would think, I'm not really a good historian with this kind of stuff, but you know, it's what we can do. So yeah, we're taking our train through the yard here. Just gonna highball through the yard again. did that twice now, actually. 2 different videos where I've highballed through a yard. And try and maintain track speed. I did this scenario once before, and I was actually pretty decent at it. I did a little test for it, so. But yeah, like I said, I've been really wanting to do a scenario with the California Zephyr again. I did one a long time ago on my channel. Didn't really. It was on the Feather River Canyon, the original Feather River Canyon, and I actually have plans to go back to that route, the enhanced version of the route, because I haven't actually done anything on the enhanced version on the channel yet. So we'll see that in the future. But yeah, we'll be traveling. This is a 60-minute scenario, so sit tight, boys. We're going to try and maintain our track speed and try and keep things going here. Alright, what do we got up there? Is that a crossing up there? Yeah, it is. We're on a level track here. I'll shut down the throttle here. To about 13. So notch 1. Kind of slow her down here. Another switch up there. Lighting is really weird, honestly. This scenario is not exactly the most ideal situation, but it's something. So I'm going to try and play the scenario all the way through for the channel. I might split it up into 2 parts, but who knows. Got a train coming up on the side there. Sounds like he's got his dynamics running. Full drag there. There you go. So yeah, I've been kind of interested in trying to run this train again, and I'm hoping to. I'm really excited for seeing what we have to do. Like, I got some stuff planned for the winter, like the winter and just specifically for December. So we'll be seeing a little bit more stuff that is in line with the holiday season soon. So I want to wait till December to really start doing that, though. That I've got phlegm in my throat here, boys. No, there's a crossing up here. Horn action as we go up here. The horn is not great, honestly, on these locomotives. They never were. Oh, I sounded way too early. Alright. There's the whistle post right there. Can barely hear anything in the cab. I don't think this is how quiet these cabs were back in the day. Passing crossing. There's another one up there. We're coming up to a 50 limit here. I'm gonna cut off the throttle here. Alright. Alright. And we're through. Alright, go ahead and just apply minimal reduction, get her down to about 50. I did not release the brakes as quickly as... Okay, there we go. Got it. A bit of a grade here. 0.6%, not bad. Sounding the horn again. Alright. Now that we've got we're getting moving again. slowly picking up speed here. Little bridge there. Trying to pick up speed here. No. We're through. Sort of. Oh, car just... Oh, it's a rusted out car. There we go. Now we're moving. Another one. We're going through the heart of town, essentially. I've got the bell on still. It's just a lot of fucking crossings out here. And then, like, after all this, it's like just miles of open space, so it's not like I got much to do here. That really, like, the audio in the cab is just so weird, honestly. I'm shocked how just quiet it is. You can barely hear the audio. Never mind. You turn the camera just enough where the audio just picks up again. That's interesting. I didn't think about that. That's weird. I must have an issue with my headset or some audio thing or whatnot. Because it's only doing that the audio on my game, like, it's like when you get to a certain point in the game, like a certain camera position, the audio on the rear just like cuts out for some reason. I don't know what that is about, so we'll have to check. I'll have to check on that a little bit. All right, coming through, boy. Let's see if I can make a perfect score on this one. Whee! There we go. Last time I lost 3 points because I sped went over the speed limit for a little bit. Not by much though. Boom. I'm still kind of relatively good here. Our throttle's around 50%, which is not bad. There it is, that's a horn. I just noticed the neighborhood over there, very cut and paste situation there. There we go. It's just darkened. Like, look, it looks like it's going to storm just ahead of us. I know that's just a visual glitch that I got right now, but yeah, whatever. Alright, shut down the throttle. What the fuck? Camera. There we go. We're coming up to a first hill here. Like a first, like, real significant climb up here. Oh, whistle post. I just noticed the fencing over there. The first time I've actually run. Like I'm looking on the. Oh fuck! I'm speeding again. Well, there goes our perfect score. Next one. 21. Lost 21 points out of that? That's not too bad. I'm not in it to get a perfect score. I'm just in it to have fun. We're coming up to a high grade here, so traction motors. There we go. Now we're moving. Keep things moving here. Just run 8. There we go. I wasn't paying attention to the speed and I oversped there a little bit. About a mile or two. Right. Back on it. There we go. We're picking up speed again. Got a divided highway over there on the other side there. Oh no, that's the interstate. We're good. Alright, so our first through point is right back there, so that's going to take some time. I just saw that truck just spawn into existence. Jeez. sometimes the game is just weird. Like, it just doesn't know what to do with long lines like this. Get down the throttle, chop it down, chop it down. 38 should do it. We're not on really steep territory here, so kind of chop it down about 30%, like notch 3 here. So yeah, I've been running like the Rio Grande Zephyr, or the ski train, as it later became, was basically all the equipment from the California Zephyr. That initially was like equipment from the California Zephyr. I'm not a historian on this by any means, but it's one of those things where it's like they were using that equipment for a long time, well after Amtrak was formed. It wasn't until like the late 90s when Amtrak decided to take over. I just passed a crossing. It wasn't until like the late 90s when Amtrak finally took over that they basically were like, okay, yeah, we're going to give up. Like, because keep in mind that it was, from what I understand about why the Rio Grande decided to continue passenger service well into the 80s and 90s, was mainly because of quality assurance or something like that. It's something, I know one of the roads was very disappointed with how Amtrak was handling passenger service at the time. So much so that they refused certain railroads, the Amtrak to use certain train names or something like that. I want to say it was Santa Fe. I want to say the Santa Fe had one train in particular that they did not want Amtrak to use, which is why you had the Southwest Chief. Because the Southwest Chief is actually the what's it called? The Super Chief. Yeah, that's it. I think it was the Super Chief that was discontinued in favor of the Southwest Chief, which is why the chain, like, it's the same route as the Santa Fe Super Chief, but it doesn't have the same name. And it's actually interesting how much equipment from the old days of passenger rail travel actually survived into Amtrak's modern era. I want to say a high level, like the last Santa Fe high level car, was retired a few years ago from Amtrak's roster because they were still using those things up until like the 2010s at least. And it was rather interesting to know that there were still some high level cars that you could see spot on the trains every now and again. And it's really interesting. You could probably spot a high-level car within the massive Superliner cars pretty easily because they were just slightly different in terms of their height and stuff. So it was really interesting. All right, we're notch 4. I'm going to drop it down a little bit because we're kind of getting up to our track speed here. There we go. Cut it down. Cut it down. That bridge seems really low, honestly. You'd think it would be higher than that. Whatever. So now we're in the throes of the route. Like, we're in the kind of an area where it's not going to be very pretty. Like, you're not going to see much of anything. So, you know, there's that. Just maintaining speed and everything, that's pretty good. We got a train coming up here. Another train coming in view. Is it? Wait, no. Wait, is it? Oh, fuck. Well, there goes tech. There goes all that stuff. That's one of the problems with asset blocks in this game, honestly. They will... like, the texture... Like, when you're far enough away from an asset block... I learned this from route building all these years. Asset blocks has this... the asset blocks in the game have a tendency to not render properly or at all when you're at a certain distance away from the asset block. And once you get close enough, it just pops in. Like, you can see right up there in the corner there, right up in the middle of the section there, there's a huge chunk of land that's just missing, of trees. So you can tell this is an asset block that they just plastered in there and just, like, picked out what they wanted to put in there. And it's rather kind of silly because you can see... Clearly, there's a square right there. Oh, see? Yep, right as I said something, it pops into view. So yeah, that's an asset block right there. So you can see, like, when you get to a certain point and, like, when you get to certain aspects of the route and, like, certain areas, you'll start to see assets pop in and left and right and whatnot, so... coming up to our next waypoint here. We've already been traveling for about 30, 40 minutes, right? 20 minutes as of the recording, so not too bad. And we're going to be on time here. Yeah, ETA, our scheduled time is 42. We're expected to be there at 43, but that's going off of just like a general check speed. Horn, little creek over there too. I made a set of ski train cars as well. I need to re-release those on the Transit Community website because I keep forgetting to do that. But I really want to redo one of the cars in particular, the business car, so that it's a lot better in terms of its design. Because I used an old MSTS version of the car, and then lo and behold, Machine Rails releases the Machine Rails and that Frisco 1522. The Frisco 1500s pack, that is going to be very useful. I've already seen a few people release repainted business cars using that pack. And it's really nice to see that something I commissioned back in the day, actually 2 years, almost 3 years ago to the day almost, because it will be in December when I've actually commissioned that. I actually can find the old, oh god, what is that? Oh, that's a truck. I thought that was a train just racing around the corner there. But it was back in December of, I want to say 2022, actually, I think. It was December 2022 I commissioned Machine Rails to release the Frisco 1500s. Basically, what I said this in the review video, I'll link it off in the corner here. But I commissioned only the 1522, the auxiliary tender, and the crew cars, the 4 crew cars. What the guys over at Machine Rails did, they decided to release 2 locomotives, a weathered and a clean variant, and 3 freight cars, a tank car, box car, and hopper, the 4 crew cars, as mentioned before, and the auxiliary tender, which is really kind of cool. It's really nice to see that there was a little bit of extra stuff added into it. And the weathered variant of the 1500s, very nice. It's a very nice design, very nice weathered variant. And I think I've talked about this on one of the previous Railworks Sundays. I'm actually working on doing a little bit of an enhancement pack with that locomotive, changing the sounds and audios and stuff like that. And I'm going to probably release it in 2025, which will most likely be the 35th or 40th. I'm gonna have to check on this date specifically. In fact, I can actually do that now once I get the train under a decent set of speed here. There we go. I'm going too fast here, but I'm going to check the date here of that, because 1988 is when the 1522 was restored back to operation. I'm trying to figure out, and you probably heard my phone open up from there, so hold on. So 2025 minus 1988, 37 years. Okay. So they did initially try to okay. So it would have been 40 years. So it's 40 years. It would be 40 years to the day when they started restoration work, which was 1985. But I'm trying to think of what. Yeah, June of 1990 was also a big year for the locomotive, so I'll probably release it then. With the June of next year. Oh fuck! Oh no, that's the time limit spot. I'm wait a minute, what was that? Should make a sound effect or something when I get through those, honestly. And we're slowing down here too. We're not going track speed anymore. Yeah, we're on a grade here. 1%. Let's go! There it goes. Now it's going. Now it's going. Sort of. Barely. It's chugging. There we go. I've done the horn for a set of crossings before, and I didn't do it again. Alright, now we're picking up speed. We're gonna have some trouble here, honestly, gotta admit. Yeah, I've got a few scenarios lined up, planned for us to do this over the next couple of days, or the next couple of Sundays. So this is just going to be one of them. climbing the grade now. Like, we're actually trying to snake our way up the hill. The hill. Reduce the rag. Throttle here. Coming up to a 40 limit here. I'll let her coast down the hill. Alright, now we're slowing down. I'm gonna let her coast as much as we can to kind of slow her down, rather than using the brakes. So, I mean, the brakes are not bad, honestly. Like, the brakes, if I use the brakes, it would be easier to slow down at a moment's notice, but I want to kind of slow the train down naturally as much as possible, because we're coming up to a 40-mile-an-hour limit just down there. I don't even know if you... Did I set up the mouse cursor to work right there? I don't know. Whatever. Okay, there's the crossing again. Alright, open up the throttle. It's slow a little bit. Construction shacks over there. Should probably do another scenario for Tennessee Pass too eventually. Okay, there we go. Now we're slowing down significantly. We're on the 1.4% part of the grade here. Wait a little bit as the train kind of kicks into gear. Okay, so our next waypoint is about 10 miles away. Okay, so it's going to be a while. So we'll probably be back on the halfway point. That would be about the halfway point, or close to it anyway. Alright, there we go. Got notch 8. Don't be late. And then this is our last station, which is about 20 miles away, so not too bad. We're about, that's probably about 30 minutes from now. Ow, my head. The speed thing over there. I don't see it. Oh, it's not even hidden. It's not even showing up. It's like we just passed it there. We're on a 40-mile-an-hour limit, and we're just now making the grade. There's another train right out there. I see it. I see it right there at the tunnel. Kind of running late. Not by much, though. I mean, we did speed for a brief second there, so. Alright, here we go. Probably get a good screenshot of the train as we come through the tunnel here. Got an idea for that, honestly. Ooh, I got a plan. Because there was like some great shots of these trains back in the day of the two train, like the California Zephyr and the like these two trains kind of rolling by each at the same time. There's like a cool shot of those back in the day. Doesn't look like we'll get a shot though. Yeah, it doesn't look like we'll get that shot. There's a caboose. That tunnel's not that long, honestly. I didn't think about that. There's the train. Hang on. We'll go back. To the future! Oh, around the hill here. There it is. Hold on. I can't see where I'm at. That's the river down there. There we go. This is the other end, right? Yeah, there it is. There's the tunnel. What the fuck is that portal? Okay, get it a little bit, like so. We're still picking up speed a bit. That's interesting. I'll get back a little bit so we don't have the train kind of like completely blocking the tunnel portal, but I think I have an idea here of what I want to do. Here she comes. Racing. Boink. Ah, fuck. Ah! No! Damn it. Get off. I screwed up. I pressed the wrong button. That's actually a decent shot. Actually, I like that. Get a little bit more zoomed in there. The second portal in the shot too. Why not? That's our thumbnail, boys. That's our thumbnail. It's either the train leaning too on that shot there. Oh God, what is happening? Why did the lighting change? Why did the lighting change? What the hell happened there? The lighting changed for like a brief second and then went away. What the fuck? Alright. Oh, I'm passing the ranch. Ah, fucking Christ rocks. Alright, here we go. Got another 7 miles to go. We got a crossing coming up here by the... No, that's just a milepost. Never mind. I never finish my trains of thought, do I? Alright, open up the throttle. I'm on level track here a little bit. The real challenge is coming up, though. There we go. Yeah, we're starting to pick up the grade here. Our truck at the crossing right there. Coming through. He pulls up right as my train gets there. There we go. Now we're picking up speed. Slowly but surely we're picking up. Oh, fuck. Maybe too much speed. Ludicrous speed. Alright, slow it down. Lad. What the fuck? Alright, here we go. What we got there? Got a red block over on that track there, and we got a high green on that. Open up the throttle a bit, and we're good to go. I see the sun over there. Let's put the sunshade down, why not? Oh, I can't do that? Those don't exist? Oh, that's sad. I think you could do it on the other locomotive, the F7. You can't do it on this. That's interesting. Weird. Again, more acid blocks just popping up in there. That's funny. Alright, now we're on the grade. We're really kicking up here. Okay. Alright. We are on our way. Is that another crossing? Yeah. Got the loud roar of the engines as we climb the grade here. Notch 8, don't be late. Got another train coming too. Got a diesel. The diesel. Naturally, I don't think you need to blow for a crossing over here because there's no cars on this road. I don't think there would be any cars on that road. A little short mixed train. Well, that's not short, but still. Oh, the picture I'm thinking of that had the freight train right next to the ski train is it's the F40PHs that pulled the train, honestly, back in the day. Which I still need to make those, honestly. I made the like I said, I made the passenger cars. I made some STP40F variants of the ski train, but I never made the F40PHs that pulled the ski train. I really need to do that because those were really nice locomotives, honestly. With so many of them being retired now, it's kind of like sad to see, but like at the same time, like those things are like old as hell. Because the F40PHs are like, the first F40PH that rolled off the assembly line was in the 1970s, like 76, I want to say. It's Amtrak's first like passenger diesel for a long time, and Lord knows that was kind of a necessary evil for them to do. Because it retired a lot of the F and E units that they were using at the time. So that's kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, you kind of get it. Climb the grade, climb it. You got a crossover coming up. Oh, that's the Rio crossover, not the one we're looking at. That's the Narrows. Oh, I know that place. That used to be narrow gauge territory. Yeah. Yeah, keep in mind this is Soldier Summit. I should have mentioned that at the beginning of the video, but this is Soldier Summit. So we're kind of climbing over in Soldier Summit here. We've been recording for about, let's see, 35 minutes. Alright, not too bad. We're picking up speed now. That'll be our second to last destination here, so that's not too bad. About 5 miles out? 4 3/4, so not too bad. You got the sun up in the sky up there. I'm trying to climb a grade up here, it's like not going to be easy. Yeah, you can see that the speed's slowing down now. Even at Notch 8, we're kind of struggling on the grade. There we go. Up we go. Switch stand reading right there. I don't think that's where the switch stand should be, but okay. Got another train sitting out there. Does he got a high green? Yeah, he's got the high green. Following closely behind that other freight that we just passed a moment ago. Oh, that's not a train. Is that a train or what? No, it's just something I was seeing. What am I seeing? I'm blind as a fucking bat, man. A mile post. I think this is where we are here. Oh, yeah, I hear him. Oh, there he is. I take a pic out of the screen and he's right there. There you go, couple shots. Not bad much. It's not great, but hey, it's something. Secure the engine just revving like crazy. Like they are struggling to keep maintaining speed here. There's the signal up there. Clear ahead. And the narrows are just about a 2 1/4 mile out. We're picking up speed now, finally. We're out of the steep part for now. Shut her down a little bit. Alright, there we go. Kind of cooling off the engine a little bit. Alright. Crooked telephone pole over there. Keep her moving, keep her going. Oh, that's an old one. Really impressive scenery, honestly. When you're in the valleys here and whatnot. It's not bad. It could be great, or it could be better, but you know, it's like these are older routes. These are like 2015, 2016 routes. So they're pretty old by today's standards. But they were not bad in terms of their design, honestly. Not at all. I like the fact that the highway is right next to the tracks too, which is kind of cool, the state highway. Get like a good pacing shot of the two trains as they roll by. I can't zoom out any further than this. There's a train over there. He's sitting over in the siding here. Got an old mixed train. Got 3 units on the train here. It's a coal drag. Alright, there we go. And we got a 55 coming up here. I'm doing too bad. I'm going to probably cut this episode up a little bit so we can get some better footage, honestly. But, who knows. Yeah, this is like one of those longer scenarios. It says 60 minutes on the scenario, on the tin. If you say, what you say. So. Alright. Power up. The one extended vision caboose in the back. Alright, we're at 30. And looks like we're about a mile out from our next destination. And then from there, we're at the final point, which is about 11 miles out. So, it'll be a bit. I'm coming up to the milepost there, or the speed limit there. So speed limit changes to 55 after here, so. Okay, coming up. Try and maintain speed here as we kind of climb through here. Another plan for a screenshot here, actually. We've got this little... Well, the shack is not good enough. Yeah. Ah, fuck. Fuck you. Right as I hit the speed sign, too, which is funny. There's another 50 points gone. Let's launch it. There we go. Now we're good. Once again, it's on the very bit where I start getting that speed transition. That's always where I tend to go over speed there. It's always that little bit there. I guess it's just because it's flat out here, which is interesting. You wouldn't think there'd be flat land right here. But oh well. Catch up on our speed here. Coming up. 420 feet. I just saw that just for a brief second. It said 420. Alright, time limit bonus. We got our time back. We are not going to get the higher score than we got last time, so whatever. I got a nearly perfect score last time, honestly. Just like 3 points off because of speeding. Whew. Got a town over there. What the fuck? Oh, is that supposed to be a truck stop? Oh, it's supposed to be a truck stop. Okay, I see now. Oh, crossing. I didn't see that. Now we got a 40 limit coming up here. I'm going to keep moving as fast as I can until we can get over the speed limit sign change there. Got 10 miles to go. About 45 minutes. So we got about 15 minutes or so until it kind of reaches the hour mark. Oh god. I'm tired here. Come on. We're good, we're good, we're good. Alright, now. All brakes, minimal reduction. That's the brakes. Coming up to the spot, speed point. I can't talk. Still see the darkened sky over there, which is weird. I don't know if that's a visual glitch or if that's intended. Right, hold on. Past those speed signs, and it's really weird. I think that it's supposed to be the other way around. Shit. And now we got a 35 coming up here. No, wait, 45. Never mind. Maintain that speed. I got 9 miles out. Still climbing. Still picking up speed too, actually. I'll shut her down a little bit. Sounds like an old truck, honestly. The diesel engine and everything. mean, that's what these things were, essentially. They were just basically oversized trucks and ships and like that. I guess you could say they were oversized trucks a little bit. They work off the same principle. Alright, come on. I got speed. How much further we got? 8.25 miles. Okay, not too bad. Alright, now launch it. There we go. Now we're doing it. Taking some time. I might be able to chop this episode up a little bit so it's a little easier on the viewing purposes, so. Oh god. Alright. Oh, she's slowing down still. Alright, we're about 7 3/4. Just keep looking at the timing, like the distance there, and it's kind of like, oh god, this is going to take forever. Oh, that's the interstate right there. The construction of the interstate. And the truck that's popping into existence again. Oh god. Yeesh, I'm yawning too much. See the progress of time. Alright, so we're doing okay. Our speed is slowing down, but that's fine. I think there's a 35 coming up here, actually, if I'm not mistaken. About 3.5 miles. Or 7.5 miles. No, 3.5. What the fuck am I talking about? Yeah, just honestly, like, by the halfway part of these videos, I'm typically just out of words to say ow. Okay, both lights come on if you press L. Wait, does that not? Oh, it does come on. Okay. Alright. Just as I thought, there's a 35 coming up on the speed here, so we're going to keep our speed pretty much maintained here. Oh god. These have been less eventful than most here. You get tired on these runs, honestly. I can't pronounce that. Whatever. Alright. So we got a flashing yellow on the other track there, which means that another train's coming in. We are on a 1.5% grade, which is pretty constant too. It's like there's not much in the way of gradients here, which is actually impressive. One fun fact about railroading: this is the same type of grade you're going to see in the heartland of the Missouri Ozarks. Honestly, in the Missouri Ozarks, so just southwest of me, essentially. It kind of gives you a position of where I'm at exactly, but in the near the Lake of the Ozarks, the railroad grades out there, they range from 1% to 1.6%. We're essentially traveling on the same grade profile as the Cuba subdivision, which is the St. Louis San Francisco's subdivision between St. Louis and Cuba, Missouri, and even further back than that, actually. Because I think that line actually goes now all the way to Springfield, like the Cuba subdivision under BNSF ownership. So it's one of those things where it's like the grade profile. People think like, oh, the rolling hills, blah blah blah, like rolling hills, nothing steep in the grade department here. Like, incorrect. When you're out in the heartland of the United States, you'd be surprised how steep the fucking grades are out here with these railroads. Byron Hill, for example, over in Wisconsin, I think is a nearly 2% grade. And that's steeper than the Sherman Hill, actually. Sherman Hill is about 1.5%, and Donner Pass is 2%. So, like, over in Wisconsin, you've got a grade of nearly 2% on a small, what's called Byron Hill. You don't expect that to be that steep. And the steepest grade in the United States, as of right now, that's still like operational to the public, I think, is Kicking Horse Pass over in Canada. Well, technically it's the United States. Well, technically it's Canada, but it's one of those things where, like, the railroad itself, like, Kicking Horse Pass, I believe, is like 4% at some places. And this is the Canadian Pacific now, or CPKC now, actually, where that division is. So technically it is not the United States, actually, now think about it. But yeah, like that line is really fucking steep, like 4%. They have to loop around themselves like multiple times just to get down the hill, down the mountainsides, and that's in the Rockies. But in terms of the Midwest, a lot of the grades here are like 1.5 to 2% in the areas. And then you got the fact that a lot of the railroads, or a lot of the trackage out here is on what is called hogbacks, which are tracks that just go up and down like a roller coaster. So you go down and then immediately start going back up, and it's actually very challenging in the fact that you might end up breaking a coupler here or there when you're traveling over lines like that, because if you're not careful, you'll just break your knuckles, or have what is called have a knuckle, where the knuckle separates and then you're SOL. Shit out of luck, but still, that's what SOL stands for, boys. SOL means shit out of luck. So, hope you learned something today. But yeah, like the Midwestern railroading, it's actually pretty steep. And people often think, oh, the Rocky Mountains, that's like mountains, that's like steep grades and stuff like that. Well, yeah, true. You're in the heart of the Rockies. That's the Continental Divide. But when you actually look at it from the perspective of like the entirety of the United States, it's actually more difficult to cross over the Midwest than people realize, because like areas like, for example, Iowa, there's like 1% grades over in Iowa, which is just north of Missouri, and there was actually like one of the train, like there's actually that famous video of 4014 pushing a stalled freight train on over in Iowa. I think it was Iowa. It's one of the northern Midwestern states, and they had to push it because the train stalled on the grade. From what I understand, the train was slipping so badly that they couldn't get it to move properly, and ended up maybe, I'm not sure if they overheated one of the units or something like that. I know that was the story with 844. 844, when she helped that freight back in 1996, she helped it because the train had stalled because one of the locomotives had overheated. And that was one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, we'll help you. And the same thing happened with 4014. It's like Steve Lee had one moment of like saving a stalled train, and now Ed Dickens had the same opportunity later on in the UP Steam career. Like when I saw that clip of the 4014 pushing the freight up the hill, I was like, well, the 1990s are back. The 1990s were calling. It's like, yep, that's about right. And if you actually watch videos, you actually see that most of the diesel that's behind 4014 not really moving. Like it's like maybe a high idle at most, if not notch one. But 4014 is doing most of the work to push the thing up the hill. And that's kind of the cool thing about that whole thing. Is like, yes, it's 4014 doing what it's designed to do. It's doing heavy freight work. It's pushing a massive fucking freight train up the hill. But B, it's in Iowa. It's a state that people have often said, oh, that's just flat. That's just rolling hills. And no, I think the grade on that hill was like almost 1.5 to like anywhere between 1 to 1.5%. That particular grade. The 4014 could have taken that easily without any trouble if it wasn't for the wet rails. There's actually some footage of her going through a crossing, and then her front driver starts slipping because she's going over this crossing, which is just like not soaked, but has enough water on it that it's causing, because they're just shoving the shit out of this train. It's like, holy crap, are you putting on a show much there, guys? But yeah, it was like, that's one of those situations where like once you start piecing together like the Midwest is much more hilly and mountainous than people realize. Let's blow for this crossing at least. I haven't blown for the last couple of them. But yeah, I do want to build, in terms of my route building stuff, I mentioned this before, I do want to build the BNSF Cuba subdivision between St. Louis and Newburgh, which features Iron and Rolla Hill, which are like 1.5 to 1.6% grades. Dixon Hill, just past Newburgh, is actually 1.6, and that's actually pretty impressive. Like, that's a pretty steep grade. Cuban subdivision back during the days of the Frisco was actually seen as a helper district, where they had to have a helper engine just maintaining all these trains going up and down this grade. And that's kind of like interesting history lore there. Eventually I'll probably build it, but who knows? Maybe somebody else will build it. I don't know. You never know. Alright, we're about 2.5 miles away from the final destination there. And how long have I been recording for, actually? That's the other key there. I have been recording for about 60 minutes, about an hour now. A little bit over an hour, so that's not too bad. There's probably going to be a few cuts here and there for just the sake of just time, because all it is just me running a train from one end to the other. Ow! I hit the mic. I hit the audio. God damn it. Turn it down. There we go. Got it. Alright. I hit the volume control on my headset and turned up the mic just enough where it's like, oh, ow. You see the car just spawning in back there. Got a signal coming up here. The bright white lights. Not something you want to use here. Is there a motor? Oh yeah, there's a motor that I can switch, right? No. Okay, there's no real motor per se. Thought there was. I know there's a motor for the Mars light on the F3s, which we're not using, so obviously. And by the way, they're just telling us that we need to stop at the next signal here, which is what we were doing in the first fucking place. 2 miles out here. 30-mile-an-hour limit. We're going about 27.7 now. We're actually picking up speed a little bit. Not doing too bad. Speedometer's doing okay. Coming up to the first signal. That should be a flashing yellow up ahead, actually. And you can see just how barren the land is out there, without any textures or assets or anything like that. Like, that's crazy to see that. Like, mountain rail, like, when you're in, like, routes like this, where, like, the majority of the scenery is not going to be visible to the player, like, that's kind of a problem. I mean, granted, it's better, like, the way they do these things is actually pretty interesting. Like I said, like, let's go out to the, outer view here. You can see, like, where the scenery just, like, where the scenery is supposed to be. You can see all those, like, little patches of ground. Yep, see, there it is. Just as I say something. But yeah, like, you can actually kind of tell where scenery is, and where, like, you know, off in the distance, you can see, like, there's nothing supposed to be out there, really much. It's just supposed to be distant terrain. You don't really do much of anything out there. Okay. So we are approaching the stop here. It's right on the other side of this turn here. I think this will be nearing the top of the grade too, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe, I don't know. There was something I did want to point out that I was noticing back in the early part of the video. They have these little locomotives out here known as red blocks, which are basically just to block the switch out there, not have us running past the signal, which is kind of funny. It's actually kind of a smart idea to do that because it blocks any other trains coming through the line. And yeah, we're just slowing down here because the signal's right up here, about a quarter mile, like 3/4 of a mile. So maintaining speed is kind of crucial here. Oh god. Yeah, another 3/4 of a mile. Start sounding the bell as we approach. Alright. Yeah, I was like when I saw that they had the red block locomotives, you probably, if I move the camera far enough, I probably could actually spot them too. I might want to see what they are. You could probably get away with just setting off a set of cars out in the distance there rather than a set of locomotives, but I think because they need to set it to where it's like an actual train or something, it's actually smarter just to set it out like that. So our arrival time, we're gonna be a little late, but we're probably about a minute, yeah, it looks like we'll be about a minute late from our destination here. But that's fine. I'm a new engineer, boys. Alright, get ready with the brakes, sir. I got the cameras just like, what the? Oh, right, those are supposed to be something, a different type of gauge or something, I don't know. Alright, we got a red block there. Letting the hill kind of shut us down here. Once we get onto the little waypoint here, I'll then apply brakes. There we are. Alright, we made it. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can spot those diesels before the scenario ends. It's like right... Yep, there they are. These are our red blocks. So just a couple of GP9s that they shoved down here. That's funny. Yeah, that shows you just how the creative scenarios are these times. Alright, so, well, with that done, once again got the nearly high score, about 954. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching till the end. Like and comment down below, subscribe if you guys want more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.